Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back. Today we had our TCG Invitational. It was a tournament hosted by Konami. You know, the live stream, etc. You can still rewatch them. I'll leave like a link in the video description. But I came in second place. This was unexpected. I definitely did not expect this. I was playing maybe a strange pick in today's format, and that was Domain Monarchs. Even though, you know, the deck is definitely strong because it got back the 3 Pantheism, and Domain and Vanity's Fiend are very ignorant cards. They are very powerful, right? First of all, thanks Konami for inviting me. It was definitely a blast, definitely a very well organized event, even though sometimes the times in between rounds were you know, a lot of time. Or it was a lot of time, but you know, the tournament itself was really well organized, equipment and so on. But sometimes, you know, you have things that are out of your reach, that you can't, you know, like adjust maybe the Wi-Fi connection. So that's also important. So this is the deck. I mean, it's just standard Domain, right? Maybe some weird choices, but for the most part, it's a very standard list. So the triple Erebus and the triple Aether, I guess these are pretty, you know, self-explanatory. You know, you definitely want 6 of these because, you know, those are very strong. The one of Kuras for the potential interruption. You're not running the extra deck variant, so 1 is fine. In the extra deck variant, you're definitely wanting to main deck 2, but in today's format, where the format is so combo heavy oriented with Helgi Fibrex, and any 2 combo leads to a big field with big negations, 1 Kuras is fine. Same for these. These are again your game winners. Same for the Majesty's Fiend as well. But 3 is definitely a staple, I feel, for Domain, because again, it's a very ignorant card. Just drop this and kind of hope your opponent can't play around it. They might have impermanence, but again, there are cards or ways in your extra or main deck to play around that, right? So very powerful. This with Domain against most decks is a game. But again, the dice roll is very important. You definitely want to go first. Majesty's, you know, because it's a target, you can search it with return, and it's kind of like Vanity's Fiend in some way. That's it for the tributes. The tribute fathers are, you know, the monsters to be tributed for both triple Aedos and triple Idea, again staple. But most importantly is keep in mind you want to play around, especially if you're going first against or play around stuff like Gamma, Impermanence, Ash Blossom, if you have the opportunity in case of Idea. So that's why I'm running the double red layer. Simply because it can be special summoned, again, dodges Gamma, dodges Impermanence, you know, special summon this, tribute for Vanity's Fiend for the 1 card. Okay, they can keep Impermanence, but again, there is March in your main deck to search out for that. It's worst case scenario, it's like a beat stick to attack over Herald, plus it can be also a tribute monster if needed, so that's why it's in there, but solid one. That's basically it for the monster lineup. Pretty stable maybe, I guess. Then we finally got back the 3 Pantheism in the TCG. I mean, it's basically because of this. The extra copies do help searches. The draw effect is not once per turn. The search effect is once per turn. But I mean, I don't need to explain Pantheism. Triple Stormfort, that's pretty staple. Same for Tenacity. The triple Return as well. I thought about running only 2, but you know, this card lets me play around a couple of like hand traps or, you know, negations. Plus the fact that maybe sometimes you want to have the guaranteed search off of your Pantheism, so that's why triple Return. Then your game winner, that's Domain, a super ignorant card next to Vanity's Fiend. Both these I was always, you know, I always wanted to get both these on the field first turn. Domain is much easier because searchable, Vanity's Fiend not, but you know what I mean. Again, this is the reason why, you know, you win with this deck with Domain, and of course the dice roll going first, I was lucky. March, definitely needed. One in the main deck is fine. You want to search it. It gives your tribute monster protection against impermanence or stuff that targets. Not against Dark Ruler no more, but you know, just to keep in mind that you can play around that as well with Aether if they, you know, decide to shut down your Vanity's Fiend or Majesty's Fiend. Upstart for the 39 card deck, 1 for 1 and foolish, self-explanatory again. And last, the 2 traps. 2 is fine. The format is not really that grindy, so you know, in like 2016 you wanted to have a 3rd copy to set in the grind mirror match of Monarchs or against Cosmo, where the draw effect definitely helps out, but today's format is just too fast, so 2 is fine, 3 might be a bit bricky, and the 3rd one is a March in the main deck. So 40 cards, that's it for the main deck. I feel happy, no hand traps, because again, this format is just too fast. Infernal Knights, Dragon Link, they can play around multiple hand traps, and I don't really have too much space, maybe for Ash Blossom, but as I mentioned, they can play through many hand traps, so I'm just not bothering main decking hand traps. Escalation is a good one, going like game number 2 or 3 when you're going first. Let's say if your opponent did have the negation on Idea or Eidos, this lets you tribute summon during your opponent's turn for the Fiends to block them out of the game. The second March, but I might cut this for Harpy's Feather Duster. Same for Jinzo, it's I guess for Altergeist or Eldritch, but nah, I'm probably going to drop this one as well. Then the staple, I guess, the triple Nibiru and triple Evenly. Thanks, Seppa, for lending me these cards. I mean, going second, I definitely always side these one in, but as I mentioned before, in today's format, these are not enough. Your opponent has multiple negations in case of Evenly, and basically any deck can play around Nibiru, so that's a problem. But yeah, I guess you have to main deck those or side deck those. Triple Twin Twister, because Mystic Mine is still a card, but I mean, Dark Ruler no more was something I also was thinking about, but again, that's up to you. But Twin Twister again lets you discard the Idea or Eidos from your hand, so that's cool, I guess. The Double Majesties, you know, again, ignorant, don't let your opponent play the game. And Testalis is a good one, going first in game 2 or game 3. This card lets you, you know, tribute summon and then take a look at your opponent's hand and maybe pick their side-decked card out of their hand, like Lightning Storm or whatever. So that's something to keep in mind. But that's basically it for the main deck. Again, it's pretty cool. Definitely did not expect to do this well, but I mean, I was lucky with like the dice roll going first. This was super important for the deck, as you've seen in the feature matches. But I mean, that's part of the game. That's how it is. Thanks to my opponents as well, Lorenzo as well, in like the first match of yesterday. You know, a lot of people are accusing him of cheating, but that's not the case. I mean, his testings weren't that high, or at least he didn't test out the deck a lot before the tournament. So, and you know, there's a lot of things going on, stress. That's definitely, it got me as well. You know, that's the thing, right? But again, yeah, thanks for the support, thanks for the messages in between rounds, that always helped as well. Okay, that's it. Feel free to leave suggestions. Yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.